We spend so much time thinking about physical security, right? Locking our doors, protecting our data. But what about the security of your inner world? Today, we're diving into something called energetic security. Think of it as a guide to protecting your most valuable resource, your own inner peace and vitality.
Okay, let's just start with this, because the stakes are incredibly high, and I want to be super clear here. This isn't just about good vibes and bad vibes. We're talking about a tangible, biological impact. The core idea is that the energy you allow around you, these destructive frequencies, can actually physically change you.
So, to really get a handle on this, we need a core metaphor. I want you to think of your personal energy, your very essence, as a sacred temple. Seriously, it's not just some open field for anyone to wander into. Nope. It's a sanctuary, and it needs you to consciously protect it. You're the gatekeeper.
So, what exactly is energetic security? Well, it's the skill, and it is a skill, of learning to spot and protect yourself from what we're going to call toxic personality structures. And notice the words here, biological and emotional. The whole point is that these two things aren't separate at all. They're completely connected. What hits you emotionally hits you biologically.
All right, so if we're protecting this temple, what's our alarm system? Here's a hint. It's not your brain. Your mind is amazing, but it can be tricked. It can rationalize just about anything away. Your first and honestly your most reliable line of defense is your body. Which, of course, leads us to the million-dollar question. How do you actually tell when you're around one of these destructive frequencies? How do you detect that energetic static in real time before it does any damage? The answer, you have to learn to listen. Your body is this incredibly high-precision instrument. That sudden knot in your stomach, the way your breath gets all shallow, that tightness in your chest, that's not random. That's your somatic intuition screaming at you, sending a clear signal that something is off. Okay, so let's get specific. We're going to break down 5 really distinct patterns, or archetypes, of toxicity. Think of these as the most common invaders that are trying to get past the gates of your sanctuary. First up, we have the liar. And this is way more than just someone telling little white lies. This is about someone who builds an entire false reality around you. What they say and what you feel from them are in constant, jarring conflict. So how do they operate? They create this huge gap between their words and their energy, gaslighting you until you start to question your own reality. And how does your body respond? With that low-grade, constant anxiety and that murky brain fog. You just can't seem to fully relax because your system is on high alert, trying to figure out what's real. Next up, archetype number 2, the narcissist. For this person, you don't really exist as your own separate human being. No, you're there primarily as a reflection of them. They use you as a functional mirror. You're there to show them how great they are. But because there's no real empathy, there's no give and take. And that's why the physical feeling is so specific. You feel totally invisible, deeply lonely, even if they're sitting right next to you. It literally feels like your energy is just leaking out into a black hole. The third archetype is the abuser. And this person's main goal isn't to connect with you. It's to control you, to reshape you into something that's more convenient for them. And their method is chillingly systematic. They isolate you and just chip away at your self-worth until you become easy to manipulate. Your body's response to this is primal. It's that heavy, constricting feeling right in your solar plexus and a deep physical urge to just shrink, to become smaller and hide. Our fourth invader, this is a classic one, the energy vampire. This is someone who has absolutely mastered the art of feeding on other people's emotional energy and life force. They're the perpetual victim, always in a crisis that you suddenly feel responsible for. And man, do they feed on your reactions, your pity, your guilt, even your anger. The result for you isn't just feeling a little tired. It's a deep, chronic fatigue. It's that hollowed out feeling, like someone literally unplugged your batteries. And finally, we have the envier. Now, this one can be tricky because it's often way more subtle. This person just can't stand your light, your success, your happiness. It's like an affront to them. So instead of celebrating with you, they'll subtly devalue your accomplishments. Or they'll meet your good news with nothing. They have to put out your flame to make themselves feel better. This creates such a specific physical feeling, an internal coldness.
You literally feel a chill. And pretty soon you learn to stop sharing good news just to avoid that energetic slap in the face.
Okay, so how do we actually use all this in the real world? Knowing the archetypes is one thing, but how do you diagnose an interaction while the dust is still settling? Well, here is a simple but unbelievably powerful tool you can use. It's called the post-interaction test. Right after you spend time with someone, just check in with your body and ask it 3 questions. First, the vitality check. Do I feel more alive now or kind of dimmed? Second, the worthiness check. Do I feel good just being me, or do I feel like I need to apologize for existing? And third, the protection check. Is my body open and relaxed, or is it trying to shrink and pull away? Trust me, the answers your body gives you, that's the truth. So what do you do with this information? You've spotted the toxic frequency, you've run the test, now what? Well, here is the absolute game changer. The solution is not to try and fix the other person. And that brings us to this really powerful kind of freeing idea. Your main job, your primary responsibility, is not to heal people who are committed to their own destruction. It's to protect the sacred space of your own temple. At the end of the day, real energetic security is about radical discernment. It's having the wisdom to know when it's time to close the gates. It's about protecting your vital life force for the people and connections that are resonant, that are mutual, and that actually celebrate your light instead of trying to put it out. So I'll leave you with this final thought. As the one and only gatekeeper of your own well-being, just take a second and really reflect. Whose frequency are you allowing into your temple?